Hi there, I'm Joy, and this is another IFS Parts Work demonstration. So it's a type of shadow work, you could say, or a type of like inner healing work. And basically, I'm just going to explore my inner world by talking to different parts of myself. If you're not familiar with IFS, check out the link, and there's a link in the description, And this video is actually a follow-up from one that I did yesterday. The title has something about like encountering resistance doing IFS parts work. So yesterday I was exploring why I use so many filler words because part of me doesn't want to do that. And when I say filler words, I mean like, you know, uh, those sorts of things. And there are other things about my like vocal patterns that also came up as well. And it's all just kind of geared towards like a smoother, um, see, there's a smoother presentation, essentially. And there's a part of me named Amarillo that focuses on that and wants to have a smoother and more polished presentation, particularly for videos. And you know what? I kind of feel like taking my glasses off. So that's a thing. Um, and there was another part of me that didn't wish to be named yesterday, who was resisting saying, you know, this is an attempt at masking and just feeling like Amarillo is a part that's trying to manage me and just really didn't like the idea of trying to make any changes at all, that I'm perfectly imperfect and I should embrace my flaws and just put them out there for the world to see and just be really real, and that it's part of being authentic. And I was very dysregulated just in general yesterday. I had kind of a rough day yesterday before I even tried to start doing parts work. And I'm kind of wondering if that's part of the reason why I met with the resistance that I did, because you know maybe my nervous system wasn't in a place where I could really make much progress at the time. And that's okay, that happens, and maybe not. So what I'm feeling right now is that it's actually okay for me to explore this a little bit more. So here I am, I'm going to do that. So I want to just double check with my system before I get started. Oh, apparently I'm forgetting to say something. There's a part telling me that I'm forgetting to say something. Talk more about yesterday. What about yesterday? And how I responded to the resistance. So when I feel resistance, or when a part just like flat out says this isn't okay, I just stop. I just back off. And I'm very comfortable with letting my parts just be the way they are. I don't feel the need to try to fix anything or like heal anything. Um, there's no agenda, essentially. I'm just here for my parts. So with what happened yesterday, I could acknowledge that there was a part that really wanted to explore this and like fix it, um, oh, that part feels a little invalidated now because I did the air quotes thing. So I'd like to just address that part for a moment. So this is Amarillo, I'm thinking. Yes. Okay. So the reason I said fix is because, well, the part wants to say like there's always room for growth, there's always room for improvement. Like, you know, we're human, we are here in this like human world, you know, on this plane of existence, and growth is a big part of the human experience. It's what the human psyche wants to do. And you know, being in physical human form means that if I'm not growing, I'm not going to feel right. You know, like it's a psychological need to like grow as a person, which is, I mean, that's valid. I think that most people probably feel that way. And I can certainly understand that perspective. So, what else? I'm just getting this like wave of this like incoming energy that's like calm and lovely and nice. So Amarillo says it's fine, you can continue. Okay, so I've actually had a bit of a sense of where these filler words came from and some of my other like speech patterns too. I'm hearing go ahead. My sense of where it might have come from. So some of it is just like being neurodivergent. I have ADHD, I'm autistic, and like I've had CPTSD, and my brain and nervous system just don't work like most people's. It is kind of chaotic and abrupt um, inside me. And, you know, I have erratic moods, my thoughts, like my inner world is complex and very active. And I'm also very intuitively open. So I get kind of bombarded by like energies and like it's like I have like there's a oh, I know why this is opened up now. Okay. So it's like I have like I'm a radio receiver, you could say, and there's all these different channels. Um, and there's multiple ones open like all the time. And I have learned how to differentiate what's mine from what's not mine because I do, you know, tune into so much that isn't mine. And it is really helpful for me to be able to at least recognize what's mine and what's not mine. And I have some tools to respond when it's not mine. And of course, tools to respond when it is mine. And I'm pretty unusual in that way. So, like some people say, like I have a foot in both worlds. Like I've got a foot in the on the spiritual plane and a foot on the earth plane. And in my case, it's like not two. Like there's a lot more going on than just the two. So yesterday I was doing a like peer sharing IFS session. I have a weekly meeting with a lovely woman who like we basically just do our own parts work with each other there as like, you know, a witnessing presence and holding space. And, you know, there's lots of warmth and acceptance and compassion. And it's a really lovely experience. And basically what came up yesterday was this part of me named Kite, which is very clever. I find that my parts are very clever when it comes to naming themselves a lot of times. Um, this part said that I need an anchor, and that anchor is a partner, a romantic partner that's like physically present with me and um, basically like grounds me here in the physical world better than I'm capable of grounding myself. And what I've found with my system is that there are parts of me who have needs that I cannot meet myself. And I believe that's just part of the human experience too. I have a need for like human touch and affection. I have a need for companionship. And as much as I love all of my parts and love being able to nurture and care for my parts, and my parts love that I can. There are some needs that I do need from other people that I cannot get within my own system. And the way I respond to that is to just acknowledge that that's a thing, and acknowledging it as a need means that I'm going to do whatever I can to meet that need for my system in a way that's healthy and responsible for the system. So instead of, a part that needs human touch, behaving like a firefighter and going out and finding some form of like physical um, touch from another human, regardless of who it is and how healthy the situation is, this part trusts me to meet that need, like to honor that this is an overall need, and like that part can hang in there during the times when that need isn't being met in the present moment, because there is this trust that it will be in the long term. So this is a pretty important thing in my system. And this part, Kite, said, I need to, you know, I need to have a partner with me for the most part, not like every moment of every day and not like, all of the time, but as a general overall need in my life, um, I need something of an anchor in the physical world, to like energetically, like connect me with this plane of existence a little bit better than I can do on my own, because like I said, I'm just so energetically open. So this is a little bit interesting because my concept of why this might be my experience, using these filler words, had nothing to do with this. So now I'm kind of intrigued and curious about why this is coming up right now. Okay, so I'm just going to listen inside for a moment. I'm hearing that it's very relevant. Communication is an essential part of existence. And when I communicate, oh, when I communicate, I tune into my listener and speak their language, essentially. Like I connect to their energy, and I can so there's a part of me that's resisting saying the saying the word that I'm hearing because it sounds bad. Um, but what I'm hearing is enchant. I can enchant people in a one-to-one interaction because I can tune into their energy. But why enchant though? Like, what's the purpose of that? So I'll be safe. Okay. Okay, now we're getting into the territory, I think, where, okay, now I'm getting into the territory where I thought this might have been coming from, where I sensed this was coming from. If I can tune into another person's energy, I can sense where the boundaries are, where there's resistance, and where the way is open. And the way is like a capital W, like the Tao, you could say, the flow of life, the energetic currents. So I can sense where there's openness and I can go in that direction, where I'm allowed, where I'm invited, you could say. There's part of me that doesn't like that term, invited, because it's sort of a reference to human design. And there are parts of me that have some really big reservations about human design. And I'm not going to get into that right now because that's like a whole video in itself. And I'm not saying that human design isn't legit. I have some reservations, like concerns about the system. But in human design, I'm a projector, which means that I need to be invited by people in order to, I'm not even gonna tangent on this right now. Like, I'm not even gonna explain it. There was a part of me that didn't like the idea of using the term invited because of the correlation with the human design concept. So I'm just going to go back to the part that was explaining this. So I know where I'm invited to go, like energetically and like psychologically, you could say, when I'm talking to people, and I can feel where there's resistance, where there's pushback, where there's boundaries, and it gives me safety or a sense of safety. No, safety, she says. He says, because I've had a lot of bad experiences where I'm just interacting with someone and take it too far, say the wrong thing, really offend people, hurt people, make people angry, confuse people, get too personal without like realizing that's what I was doing, like speaking into their experience in a way that I hadn't been welcomed to do so, I guess is the main thing. And my the word is the term that's coming to mind right now is coping mechanism. My coping mechanism for dealing with that, for avoiding that, is to be able to sense a person's energy and know, just feel like what's okay and what's not okay. So when I'm in those one-to-one interactions, I feel calm and confident about what I should and shouldn't be saying. Like, I don't have to think about it or analyze it. I can just flow, which is a lovely experience to have. But if I'm speaking to a wider audience, there's nobody to like energetically read. There's nobody to like connect to know what it's safe to say and what it's not safe to say. And I've had a lot of experiences where like I was in a public forum online, and I would say some like very opinionated and maybe harsh things and get a lot of people upset. And I used to be this very, very polarizing person. Like, people either loved me or hated me. There was no in between. And anywhere I spent a fair amount of time, there was like this I hate joy club. um, like a group of people that just really could not stand me, and then the people who liked me were like kind of baffled about it, like how on earth are you upsetting this many people? Like, I can see how it happened, usually, and I haven't had that in a while. But there's a part of me saying it's hard when I just show up and just be myself, and people just hate me for it and attack me. And there's part of me that I'm getting a little bit of just very minor resistance there. Okay, so it's because I'm not done saying what I was saying. This part. I always said at the time that I didn't really care who hated me or who was mean to me, as long as the people that were important to me treated me well, and I enjoyed my interactions with those people. But there was a part of me that was really hurt by the whole thing, like in every situation where it happened. I just want people to be nice to me. That's what she says. And I've met this part before. Ambrosia. She mostly likes to draw now. Ambrosia, how are you doing? She's saying I haven't drawn in a while. I can draw, like, or we can sit down and draw sometime soon. That can definitely be a thing. She says I would like that. I have some feelings to get down. So this is interesting though, because if I'm remembering correctly, ambrosia was a nonverbal part. Yes, that's changed. I learned how to talk. Oh. She's actually like part of a part. So the part that she's a part of would talk for her and she would just draw, but she's saying she learned how to talk now. I grew up. So when we take burdens on, like when parts of us get burdened, a lot of times they stop developing, or maybe even like as a general thing, they stop developing at that stage of development in that age. And there are parts of us that, once they're unburdened, can start to go through those stages of development and mature. And it's sounding like that's what happened. And I'm getting an affirmation. She learned how to talk. Ambrosia, I'm so proud of you. Good job. And she says it was easy, but I needed to have that feedback from people to know that it's okay, that what I'm saying is okay. Sweetie, you're safe. I'll take care of you and protect you. She's crying. Like in a happy way, like relieved tears. Like imagine a small child like running into your arms, like crying. It's beautiful. Okay, so part of me wants to move on. Part of me just wants to be here in this experience for a moment. At least pause the video, that part is saying. I think it's okay. Sometimes I like to hug myself. There's actually a technique I learned where you can like put your right arm under your left armpit and then just grab your your right shoulder with your left hand. And you can just, it's like giving yourself a hug. It's supposed to be good for the nervous system from the video that I saw about it. I think it was Nervous System Revolution YouTube channel video, if I recall correctly. But anyways, sometimes I like to hug myself. Feels good. Okay, so now I'm getting that it's okay to move on. And there's more to this than just that. All right. Part of it is I'm feeling a little bit scattered. I need to Okay, so the part that says there's more to it than that and has something to add, I don't feel like I'm hearing you super clearly. Like it's kind of vague. Can I ask you to like come forward a little more, speak up a little bit more? Yeah, I would be happy to. So here's the thing. People like it if I'm sort of a valley girl. Like people like it if I'm kind of flippant. People like it if I'm a little bit ditzy. Like it's not very threatening because I am a very strong person and I can be very, very direct, but I have to be gentle about how I'm direct. Otherwise, people get really mad at me, and I don't really like that. So, what I would like to do is continue to just talk in my own style, however I would like. And if it comes out in a way that's not as like confident sounding or direct or whatever, I think that needs to just be okay because I'm doing it for a good reason and I would like to just go on and continue doing that. Oh, that was great. Thank you for coming forward and speaking so clearly and um, directly. So you're saying it's just kind of my style, your style? Yes, that's correct. All right. Well, I mean, if you like it, I don't see a reason to stop. But if you're doing it because it provides a sense of safety, like how does that feel? Like, is that comfortable? Um, does it feel like work or like a burden or like hardship to need to do that? Ugh. Well, if you must know, sometimes it's a bit much even for me. Like, I don't need to sound quite so ditzy, probably, because I actually do know what I'm talking about a lot of times, but I can't make it sound like I'm super confident or people try to argue with me. And I really don't like arguing with people. It's not fun, it's not enjoyable. I prefer to be like a little bit softer, a little bit less threatening, and like I don't want to sound conceited or I don't want to sound overly confident because people just take that as an invitation to argue with me, and I don't enjoy that. That's not fun. All right, fair enough. I mean, we don't really ever have to argue with anyone, though, right? Like, if somebody can try to argue, and I have done this before, I've just flat out told people that I'm not interested in continuing the conversation. Or like, ooh, I'm getting some resistance on this. And I'm hearing, go ahead and say it, but I don't like it. Say it. Okay, so agreeing to disagree. And part says they're not agreeing to disagree. You're telling them that you're insisting that they agree to disagree, and it's not actually them agreeing. So it's a factually incorrect statement. Okay. Um, I actually haven't done that in a long time. Yeah, because I don't like it. That's why. All right, fair enough. And I mean, you're correct. You know, if they want to agree to disagree, then we can agree to disagree. But I actually saw someone in a group recently. We actually did disagree about something, and her response was, "Well, I guess we disagree then." And I love that. That was great. And this part says, "Yes, that's acceptable." So this other part is coming back in and saying, ugh, I can be so much more smooth than that, though. I don't even need to, like, it's not even smooth exactly. It's flowy, gentle. Mm, okay, maybe it is being smooth, but I don't even need to be that abrupt or that direct or forward. I can word things a bit more effectively than that. Cool. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Okay, so I want to know, is this Henrietta? And I'm hearing this like laughter. I don't even know if I can laugh like that. It's like a very like confident laughter. No, dear. Oh, there's a part of me that doesn't like the term dear because of some negative mental associations. Oh, relax. Henrietta seduces people, and I just enchant them. So, like, to be clear, we're not talking about like a magical enchantment, right? We're talking about just like charisma or like being charming or um, like disarming or just like um, easy to get along with and enjoyable to interact with. Ugh, yes, dear, that is what I mean. Enchant is such a more theatrical word. Okay. Oh, so okay, so this is a part of me that enjoys the theatrics of making videos. Yes, you're getting it. All right, interesting. There's a part of me that's trying to like attribute this to a planet in my astrological chart right now, and I think doing that is a little bit like distracting possibly from like just being open to the experience and welcoming whatever comes up. Oh, fine, I'll back off. I mean, it's all right to analyze. It's just, yeah, just like backing off a little bit is good. Thank you. Okay, so have we met before? No, we have not. I've been talking to you a little, but this is the first time that we've ever had a proper conversation. Okay, well, thank you for coming forward. It's nice to meet you, and I would like to know what you would like me to call you. Oh, how to pick a name. Something that's fantastic enough. I'm seeing like a feather boa and like an evening gown and like glitter like streamers in the background, or like glittery, I should say, not glitter. Um, well, I mean, it's okay if you want to just like think about it and get back to me. That's cool. I'm hearing Francesca. No, no, let me think about it some more. Okay, that's cool. I mean, uh, whenever you feel like letting me know or decide on something. That's cool. She's just really like relishing this opportunity to pick a name for herself. Okay, so she's just focused on that right now, I think. I think she's done talking to me for now. She's focused on that. Um, what else? I, is there anything else in my system that's related to this? Yes, but now it's not the time. All right, cool. It's time to wrap up the video. All right, will do. I kind of want to put my glasses on so I can like look over at my monitor over here. I know it looks very strange on the screen when I do that, but I just like don't really have a good setup for recording videos right now. I don't know, maybe I'll work on that. But anyways, and like I could just edit out the ends of the videos, and I'm saying a lot of stuff now that I don't really actually need to say, which is fine. I could always edit it out, but I am just gonna stop talking now and say thank you for watching if you have watched this far, and that's about it. Thank you. So much love to all of you and all of your parts, by the way. Like I really do love parts a lot, like not just mine. I love my parts so much, but I love all parts just in general. And I love interacting with them, and it's all just really wonderful for me. So, uh, goodbye, everybody.